All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking real music in real time for real people just like you right there, and just like me right here. Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young continue to feud, and CBS this morning decided to get in the middle of it and interview both Graham Nash and David Crosby in separate interviews, mind you. They weren't in the same room, obviously, talking about this stuff. But it's quite interesting. They both open up a bit about the lingering personal friction. By the way, this would probably be the only channel that people on Sunday morning would watch and would probably care about this issue. Not to say that David Crosby, Graham Nash, Stephen Stills, and Neil Young aren't important these days, but I think the whole CBS morning crew there is pretty smart because what I'm trying to get at is it's their demographic. That's what I'm trying to get at in more ways than one. In any event, Graham Nash says that Stephen Stills and Neil Young and I are all great, meaning he's communicating with everybody. He says we talk often. He says we, meaning everybody, don't talk to David. So Crosby, again, who is filmed in a separate interview, said, I don't expect to be friends with Graham at any point. So he's given up on being friends with Graham. Graham Nash did a couple of very strongly worded videos over on a couple of different platforms, but there's one on YouTube where the interviewer is from a foreign country, and I think he's asking music-related questions, and then Nash just completely loses it when he mentions David Crosby, and obviously it was a very awkward interview, but it shows you here the damage that was done. In case you didn't know the exact quote, and I'm not sure if I did this in a different video, but David Crosby actually called Daryl Hannah, who is Neil Young's girlfriend, a purely poisonous predator, all right, for which apparently he did later apologize for saying that. But in this interview, he asked if he regrets his criticisms, and he said, yeah, sure. In classic Cross fashion, he just says, yeah, sure. Not the most sincere apology. Maybe he thinks that because there's so much damage that he doesn't feel obligated to try to patch things up. Graham Nash talked about the challenges of gluing a band back together after the silver thread that connects it gets broken. He says it doesn't quite work. And so things that happened to me and David's life broke that silver thread. Well, actually, it kind of just sounds, Graham, like it was David who insulted Neil Young's girlfriend. Asked if he wishes he could repair that damage, he replied, yes, I do. I do wish I could, only because of the loss of the music, but these guys don't talk to David. I'm not sure if David has anybody's phone number. Maybe if he called them, not sure. It doesn't look good for a reunion. Neil Young, who didn't actually participate in the interview, said in 2019 that he wouldn't close the door on a reunion, though it would be a surprise, he said, if it happened. Then he goes on to say, Crosby should write an introspective book, Why People Won't Talk to Me Anymore. He made a lot of great music for a long time. I don't know what happened with David. I got nothing to say. I love Stephen. I love Graham. I can hold a grudge with the best of them, but only if there's a reason for it. Meanwhile, it's the 50th anniversary of CSNY's groundbreaking album, Deja Vu. There's a deluxe box set if you're into those things. They're getting a little bit passe, but if you're a huge fan, you got 4 CDs of demos, unreleased studio recordings, and alternate versions of songs. It's amazing how much stuff is in the vault. And also, a very interesting song came out with David Crosby and Michael McDonald recently, and you can check that out. Use YouTube or Spotify to find it. I was shocked at how well the two blended on the track. Although they are two very iconic singers, I wasn't sure their voices would work well together, but they do. And David Crosby sounds amazing for his age. I mean, here's a guy in his 80s and he's still singing like this. So it's the battle of the music, I guess, to some degree. David Crosby not ready to completely retire from the music industry. And, you know, he's gotten a lot of fame since his comments about Eddie Van Halen. Again, normally what I say is all publicity is good publicity. This feud obviously is interesting and people do care about feuds. In all honesty, it would be cool if these guys could get back together again and just put a bow on it, you know, just wrap up your career. These are legendary singers and songwriters. Some of the greatest performances ever on the live stage, and some of the best harmonies, right up there with the Beach Boys and the Eagles and Little River Band and Mamas and the Papas. And think of all the harmony groups out there who are just amazing. You'd have to put CSN, maybe without Y, but even with Y, you could put them way up toward the top of the list of great harmony vocal groups. All right, that's my video. I'm done. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You can join Patreon. It's just $1 a month, and I'll be grateful for that. And we'll see you soon.